Just switching the subject a little bit, in one way or another, Telstra is not going to have its network in due course. What are you doing to compete more vigorously with Telstra without a network? Can you knock them off their perch?
Well, I think Telstra without a network will be a less powerful force. Telstra having to face the same wholesale prices that we do and everyone else does will be a less potent force for sure. But Telstra is a great company. You know, it has content, it has a wonderful 3G network. It will leverage up its 3G network and will really only have to compete on backhaul. I do think femtocells will be things in houses. The convergence between fixed and mobile is there. I mean, we were joking a little earlier on. How many of you guys have actually picked up a fixed line phone recently? I haven't. Everything I do is on my mobile. Hell, I can't even remember the numbers to call on a fixed line, let alone use it. And my under 25s don't know what it is. I think the world's changing, and Telstra, with its power of its mobility, its power of its content, its deal with Fox, Sport, etc., still put in a very, very strong position.
But they've got a bad culture, an old culture, and you've seen that in your own business.
Everybody, because people bag me enough, they don't need to bag others. But incumbency is very hard. Incumbency is very hard, and I admire very much what Qantas did when they set up Jetstar. I admire that enormously. I think the fact that they decided that their old culture could not be changed, so they had to create something new, different, completely separate. And that's probably a model other incumbents should look at.
If you were the Telstra CEO, if you were David Thodey, would you do a Jetstar?
I don't like preaching to others. I just say when I was at Energy Australia, for example, and I looked very hard at that model. I think energy companies are very good suppliers of energy, are hopeless retailers. You notice always surprised me how people thought it was unusual for Woolies and Coles to own petrol stations. Well, why would it be? They actually know about retail. Petrol companies know about supplying petrol. Telcos know about telcos. Telstra is a brilliant technical company. Brilliant. I don't think it's any better. It's just why it frustrates me somewhat to see NBN being developed in competition with Telstra. I mean, Telstra is where all the smarts are. So I think they're very good. But I think incumbency means you struggle at the retail front end, no matter whether you're in telcos or energy or water for that matter.
So really, in effect, in a sort of subtle way, you're saying, look at the Jetstar model.
I'm suggesting that incumbency has problems. We had problems in selling into retail space. In many ways, AAPT was acting like an incumbent. We've been around for 20 years. We had 300 different systems. We weren't fast. We couldn't go to market quick enough. We tried our darndest. But coming up against the really aggressive players like TPG, we were struggling. So we did a deal with iiNet, which I think is very valuable for us. iiNet are a very good retail business. They do extremely well. So we're very happy in that. We are a bit like the incumbent because we actually are very good technically. We have a very good network. We can leverage that network to create value. We see ourselves like that. We have to make those hard decisions. It was uncomfortable at the time, but we made it. And I think incumbents around the world think that way. And having run a few of these old incumbents, I know that you can beat yourself up every day, but you'll never get there unless you change the model.